We all have fears if we like it or not. In this inspiration, I will tell you the what, why, and how to deal with fears. Excited? Well, I am. Keep on listening. So we all have fears, if we like it or not. If we are man or woman, if we are young or we are old. So no one can ever tell me that they don't have fears. Everybody has. I also have fears. It's quite normal. It's part of being a human being, right? We are not a human robot. We are a human being. So the only thing is that knowing that we have fears, it's a fact. The only thing is that some fears have not been updated yet. For example, there are a lot of our fears that are still coming from childhood. Even if we think as a businesswoman or a businessman it is not the case, it is. We have still a lot of things that we are carrying along, like on our backpack, and we are carrying from childhood. So knowing that, for example, I have a fear of rich people and wealthy people. Why? Why? Because you can already define me quite as a wealthy person. I'm doing quite good. My husband is doing quite good. We have a nice house. We both ride our Tesla, etc., etc. But still, I'm scared. I pee in my pants when I'm around rich and wealthy people. Why is that? Because I've always heard, coming from a poor family, I always heard from my mother and all the people around me, this is not for people like us. They are not people like us. So we cannot have it. We cannot do this. There's no possibility in surrounding us with people who are further away in their process, in their career. No, we need to keep on surrounding ourselves with people who are like us. And of course, I've went through quite a lot of fears. I remember that when I went to America, no one believed me that it was possible. And I said, I'm going to go to America. So 2 months later, I went for 3 months to America as a student, and I made it possible. So I face the fears and do it anyway. But just to be clear that we always have these fears. And then I start thinking to myself, who am I? What will they think about me? Maybe they will think I'm not interesting, etc., etc. Well, rationally, I also know that rich and wealthy people they also need to poo, like my husband says, they all poo like you poo. I also know that they have the same issues. I know they are human beings. I know all these facts. And what's the definition of rich and wealthy? There's a lot of people think, of me, I'm rich and wealthy. So what's the definition? Rationally, I know all of this, but it still does not prevent me to get goosebumps and to get scared when people say to me, this person is doing that number of millions. So just be clear on that. It's okay. You just need to know where sometimes you don't need to know really, but it's interesting to know why I have certain fears. From where is it coming? So that you can tell yourself, hey, I'm like now 40 years old. I'm not yet, by the way. I'm 40 years old. I'm not this 8-year-old kid anymore, so I can choose to do it differently. What's more to tell about the what of fears? Of course, some have been not updated since a very long time. You all know that we have a reptile brain and that we fly, fight or freeze, right? Everyone knows that. And you know it because when you get in panic, you get these reactions. But some of them have not been updated since we are cavemen and cavewomen. Sometimes we look at situations or we get in contact with certain persons and we don't even know or we don't even see that this is not a hungry lion coming to eat us and yeah. So then, like in our brain, it's still that hungry lion coming and we're like, let's fly or let's freeze and just do as if we are dead and then he will not see me. All right. Or that's what reactions that we can give. So just also check for yourself, is this really something that is worth being scared of, or I'm making it bigger than it should be? So our brains get stressed out quite a lot of times. So why would you even wanna face your fears and do something about it and feel your fears and face your fears and do it anyway? Well, because it's holding you back. Duh. It's very simple. It makes you smaller. It makes me smaller. It doesn't allow you to get the results you want. It doesn't allow you to get the life you want. Of course, there are surviving mechanisms, and we need to look at the pain, of course, but we don't need to stay in this fear. We can do it differently. We can do it differently. Because, you know, sometimes we think, why is it working with that person? Sometimes we get like, wow, she's less competent than me and still she's more successful. Why doesn't it work with me? You don't want to keep yourself that small by being the whole time in your fears. Just think, is procrastination then such a great thing to do? You don't do things because you say blah 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 to yourself and do other things because of fear again. Procrastination is always linked with the fear you have to go into something. Sometimes we even have fear to be successful. A lot of women have fear to be successful. But the main fear we have is fear of rejection. One thing that I can promise you for sure is that when you do so, when you go into facing your fears and do it anyway, you'll grow. And I'm a student. I'm still a student. I will be a student for the rest of my life. I'm still growing every time. Every time I get over a little bit of my fears, I get a bit more self-esteem. So it's not only the fact that you'll keep yourself small, that you get away from that, you're growing and you're becoming the person you want to be. So how do you do all of that? So how do you face your fears and do it anyway? Well, I have something amazing for you at the end of this inspiration, but keep on listening already to what I can give you already right now, because it's just a little part of what I can give you in total. First of all, we need to recognize that the biggest fear we have is the fear of rejection. Yes, it is. It's the biggest fear. It's not our biological fear, but it's the biggest fear everyone has. Do you honestly think that you can please everybody? Because what person A is expecting from you will be different than person B is expecting from you. And we put all these expectations on ourselves and we please everybody in the world except ourselves. So it doesn't sound like a great win-win for me. So first of all, we need to check, if you look at our fears, what are our fears? What are they? Do a brain dump. Put them all on paper. What am I fearful about? And the second step to do is, are these fears mine? Or are they from mom or dad or from my former boss or from my husband or my partner or from my family apart? From who is the fear? Is it really yours? Or are you carrying them along from someone else? And we can decide which one we want to keep and which one we say, I'm not going to carry that fear anymore. It's not even mine. And that's what, of course, I do in the coachings that I'm doing with people, with clients. I let them really face their fears, turn them into excitement. So they can do it differently. They can choose to do it differently than mom or dad ever did, or grandma or grandpa ever did. So we decide. No one else does. I have something amazing, as I told. I'm going to talk to you in a split of a second. But if you think these steps are already very interesting, just to check them out, to do them. So take like a half an hour, do this exercise. First you put all the fears out, and the second step you can already do is, are these fears mine or are they from someone else? And which one do I want to keep? And which one I say, okay, I'm going to give it back to mom or dad. Mostly it's coming from mom and dad. If you think this is amazing, interesting inspiration, please share it with the world. Let's make the world a better place together. Put a comment, put a like, put a heart, tag someone. That would be amazing. And I would also really love it if you give me some feedback or you bring some elements back to me on how this exercise has already shifted something with you. Please send me a mail on hello@elsvanlaken.com. And do you want to have more already now? You don't want to wait? Please check out our Spotify and our YouTube channel. Looking forward to meet you there. And don't forget, be proud of you.